Hi everyone, Skank Bank Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of this new JER album, Bothered, Unbothered. So let me tell you about JER. JER is a Florida multi-instrumentalist, producer, songwriter, singer as well, and a member of the band We Are the Union. A social media personality too, who you can find on various platforms under the name Ska Tune Network, where you can essentially catch them evangelizing the genre of ska. Really a one-person ska wrecking crew. Not just hyping up projects that they're working on, but also setting the record straight on the genre, on its history, on its current crop of talent, and also shutting down constantly the crap ska is always getting. Because ska isn't exactly the most well-liked genre at the moment. There is a lot of skepticism and animosity toward it, really for no damn reason. Has it had a fall from grace recently in terms of critical interest and industry support, as well as bands and records that are groundbreaking and influential? Sure. But this new age of digital DIY has created a paradigm where the new ska records that you're hearing are from artists who are doing their thing independently and are doing it because they're just really passionate about the genre. They just really like the music. And there's a range of bands out there doing this right now, groups that are playing it kind of straight, like Catbite, for example, who I reviewed recently. There's also Eichler's My Checkered Future. This project may not necessarily be my cup of tea, but I will acknowledge this is easily one of the most experimental ska releases of all time. And on this new LP over here from JER, we get a solid mix of new and old. Throughout much of this record, we hear the classic beats, horns, guitars, and vocals from ska's pop-punk inspired third wave, but there's also some spots here where we get things like a sensible touch of auto-tune. The very mellow track Maybe also brings a slight emo influence on the guitar front. This is a pretty tight release too, at 10 tracks and 34 minutes, so there's not a lot of room on this thing to not be bringing heat, and JER is coming out with this record firing on all cylinders. The song Bothered, right from the jump, has huge ringing chords, speedy beats, big horn sections, eventually giving way to some peppy ska punk riffs with lyrics about going insane over our very broken and unequal system, and everyone's inability to agree over what makes this system so awful and how to fix it. It's energetic, it's anthemic, it's passionate, well-structured, produced, and performed. It kicks ass. I don't really know what else you would want from the opener to a ska album. You get the speed and intensity of a Choking Victim song, but yet it doesn't feel like it's about to shoplift or vandalize a store. Following this, we have the You Got Your card revoked, where JER sings about being questioned on their identity. You didn't have it hard this, or you didn't struggle in that way that, merely because of the way you speak or dress or handle yourself, just feeling demeaned because you have to justify your identity in some way. The descending chord progressions on the pre-chorus are a nice touch, the saucy horn lines as well, and these gigantic refrains of I shouldn't have to prove myself toward the end of the track is just good songwriting, which continues onto the song Clout Chasers, which is a track that's all about being used or taken advantage of in the social media age, putting too much into people who obviously don't really care about you. The chords on this track are a bit bland, and the pop-punk affectation on the vocals does come off a little grating after a while, but it mostly gets the point across. Musically, I think the song Cold Truth brings more flavor to the table. I love the busy lead guitars and synth melodies on this cut. And following from here, we hit a chiller string of tracks around the midpoint, like Decolonize Your Mind, which versatility-wise is a serious trip, starting with this classic rock-steady ska beat, fuzz rock guitar passages topped with horns, a psychedelic guitar outro, and also JER rapping, and it sounding pretty good, with the lyrics of the track generally being about having hope for a better future, transcending the economic and societal hells of modern living. Meanwhile, Garden of Understanding tosses out a lot of grooves and vibes from ska's second wave too. Either way, the bursts of guitars and horns on the chorus, aligning with lyrics like let's settle down and breathe it out, this world is ever changing, creates such a relaxing sensation in a song that when you read into the lyrics, like obviously that's kind of the intent of the song. The world is ever changing, and that's not a reason to become hateful or anxious or upset. And this feeling of, again, hope and positivity and aspiration for something better, for something nicer, for something greater, is something that is not only just brought to a beautiful head on this track here, but it's something that I think consistently runs as a thread throughout many of these songs. The song Maybe, while I do understand and I do enjoy the light genre fusion going on with this track, I think performance-wise, this one came off maybe just a bit too mild to stick with me as I revisit the record again and again. But hey, at least JER is attempting to make a versatile track list here. And then past this point, things pick up in the last leg of the LP with the hard-hitting You Can Get It If You Really Want. Also, Nobody Can Dull My Sparkle, where I referred to the auto-tune on this track earlier, that is pretty tastefully implemented. Solid chorus on this one too, and the track is all about not allowing people to kind of drain your energy and waste your time. And Unbothered is a seriously gratifying closer for this thing, like way grander of an instrumental and emotional display than I expected for such a short record, and really kind of plays off the attitudes and feelings of the opening track where, the vibe is very much of being overwhelmed by everything being so awful, whereas this track is essentially about being done losing your entire mind. So, I guess just finally being finished, being driven crazy, which I guess, again, kind of makes sense given some of the topical focuses of these tracks. Going from bothered to unbothered, processing over the course of a half an hour here with some very fun, quality ska punk. And yeah, this was a very tight and enjoyable, fun record in my opinion. And another reason to be paying attention to ska that is being released in the modern age, please. I'm feeling a light 8 on this one. Transition, have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, JER, forever.